for me too. Got my best fit on, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Are you ready for a fight? Bring on the wrecking machine, setting your dreams of heaven on fire. Bring on the wrecking machine. Bring on the wrecking machine. Gonna ignite your every desire. Bring on the wrecking machine. For every city you burn, I'm gonna build one higher. Target locked, guns are hot. Full speed ahead. Bang, bang, you're dead. You may think you have a shot to take me down. Victory's mine instead. Got my best fit on, we're gonna have some fun tonight. Are you ready for a fight?
Walk to the dance floor! We got a party going on! Overheat your feet! We're gonna rock their shit!
Bring on the wrecking machine, setting your dreams of heaven on fire. Bring on the wrecking machine. Bring on the wrecking machine. Gonna ignite your every desire. Bring on the wrecking machine. For every city you burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it
Warp drive active.
Serious Slander Saturday.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, lovely people of New Saturday show for and is it really serious Slander Saturday without somebody's microphone? Hello, there we go. Alright, are we working? There we go. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. It was just microphone playing up. So once again, let me start from the top. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, you lovely people of New Eden. Welcome to Grey UTZ show for all things New Eden related. Today's topic's Eve Down Under next weekend. How awesome is that going to be? It sucks we won't be able to see each other in person, but at least we'll be able to have a bit of a get together. The riots in Jita, the numbers involved, why it was happening, the people involved, your opinions. And the main topic of the new patches that personally have me in a bit of a tizzy, which is CCP, with the new changes of industry, which feels like CCP's nerfing the new bro experience and the ability for our new players and new bros to be able to make it. I'm KL Eagles Eye, I am a Strat FC SLI, and my other two co-stars, Thomas Wilk and Luke Twa, are nowhere to be seen currently, so I'm going to be writing this thing on my show. So, Eve Down Under next week. I did try to get Sin on the show, but I think he's a little bit busy with work or with the fact that everything's opening up. Able to get yes. Let me pull up the Eve Down Under emoji. There we go. So if you look up on the screens at the moment, you'll see the dates and the times for Eve Down Under this coming weekend. It's going to be run on the CCP Twitch stream. That's going to be pretty awesome. So we got the Friday show, which will start with the Rome and the opening ceremony afterwards. Saturday, which myself and Luke Twa will be hosting, which will be the CCP keynote addresses starting at 0900. CCP Ask Me Anything. So if you guys got some questions that you want to hit up CCP with, make sure you've got them ready. We're not quite sure how that one's going to work yet. I think we're going to be getting questions in them, or we might even get you on the show and get you to the AUTZ plays of note. Once again, guys, I am asking if you guys are a person of interest for the AUTZ in your various alliances. Please join the Eve Down Under Discord. We would love to get you on. We would love some members from our CNTZ community to join. The AUTZ community, obviously, hit up Sin, let him know that you're interested. And then the PvP tournaments starting, and then Sunday will be all finals for AUT's EDU Eve tournament. CCP has told us that they were going to give us some juicy goodies, so see how that goes and see what kind of awards we'll be able to hand out for. Going to be a fun thing, guys. I hope to see you guys on the stream. And then hopefully next year, hope to see you guys in the pub and we can all get a couple of drinks. So the riots in Jita. Those were actually, the numbers that I actually saw there are pretty amazing. So the riots in Jita were peaceful, obviously. CCP changes to Concord make it actually really difficult for you to earn Jita like, old days. So I believe, now I'm not exactly sure, so Neween posted a show about it while it was happening, or while it was going on. My local told me that there was over 6,500 players in local. Billy said, after talking CCP via the, I guess, that local never went over 4,500 in Jita because Jita has a hard cap of players. We learned after talking to them about the M2 fight and whether or not there were such things as hard caps. Such things as hard caps in Eve. So the response was no, there isn't. M2 was a service going to handle 13,000, 16,000 people. True. The only system in the entirety of Eve hard cap is. If you ask me. Yeah, well, as I said, I'm not sure. As Billy stated that he found out through talking to CCP through CSM channels that the number never went over 4,500. Yeah, the local chat was up. I really don't know why my microphone is being such a dick tonight. So I'm not actually quite sure what the number was. As I said, I saw over 6,500. A lot of people saw over 65. If you wanna whisper me the link, I can post it. I think I can anyway. Pretty sure I can. Yes, I can. Okay. Yeah. So it was actually pretty crazy, guys. So it was a peaceful protest. Everyone shot the Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll post that. 1 sec. There you go. If you check out the link. Yeah, look, it was pretty gnarly. Everyone was rocking up to show their dissatisfaction in CCP's current trend of not listening to the player base, not listening to CSM, and basically doing what they want to do. So if none of you guys have actually done it yet, I would really encourage you to have a look at the from extraction to production changes that CCP have implemented. It's okay. So the rough math I believe that Cryo went over. So Cryo Huron from Goonswarm Federation, one of their AUTZ coordinators, did a video on the rough napkin math, I believe, and what's currently on the test server for 28-day pull for an R64. Now, just to compress the 8 million ore that will come from the R64 moon goo that comes from an R64 will take, I think it was like 70 hours using one module at max skill. If you're able to fit more than one module onto a raw core, like 5, running 2 raw cores with 5 modules each at max skill, so 10 modules, at 4.5 minutes per cycle at 10,000 meters squared, will take more than 4.5 hours to compress 8 million M3 of Moongoo. So people aren't very happy with the new changes of the way things are going with waste and all that kind of stuff. So give me a sec and I will link the changes. So that's the changelog at the moment. So pilots all across New Eden decided to congregate and converge into Jita and shoot fireworks in peaceful protest at the monument outside of Jita 4-4. Actually, there's a possibility they're still doing it now. I know that they are planning to resume it at 1800, so if you want to go there, feel free. It was, I actually stayed up until, like, well past my bedtime. I think I stayed up all night last night and all morning because New England Post was running a show. And I jumped on to give my 5 cents worth, of course, because I am a rather opinionated person. It was pretty amazing to see. Just all the players. I mean, clearly local spam was pretty bad with a lot of FCCP and whatnot, but oh, so you're where Luke is at the moment. I was wondering why he wasn't on the show. It's actually some really amazing screenshots from the quote unquote riots. People were saying that they wanted it to be a riot, but it really was just a peaceful protest because we all know Concord would have absolutely Concord would have absolutely deleted everybody on the field if we tried to riot properly. Yeah. Well, they good server, smart bomb on the place. Yeah, I think did someone actually end up smart bombing it after I went to sleep. I know that a couple of people came out with smart bombs, but I'm not really quite sure if it ended up happening after I went to bed during the US. I mean, we all know that the US guys end up rioting a little bit harder than the rest of the world. Except for the Canadians, they're just like, we're not happy. Yeah, look, I personally feel that the new changes to industry, as it's stated in the title, I believe that CCP is nerfing the new bro experience. So this is just my personal opinion from reading over the patch notes and everything. but it feels like, because I remember back in 2012 when I just started playing Eve, right? I was playing X3, I believe, at the time, and I really, really liked the game. And then my mate's like, oh, there's this massive online game that's basically X3, but with other players. And I was like, oh yeah, that sounds pretty fucking schmick. So I jumped on Eve with the 14-day trials back then to give it a dig with the, I wanted to mine and build capital ships. I've never built a ship in my life. Look, as I said, like, I'll explain why I believe, and from what looking at the math, why I believe that isn't just nullsec that this is going to affect, and why it's actually going to have a massive impact on high sec miners. So yeah. Well, that's because I'm not making caps. That's why we don't have caps anymore. And we clearly have caps. We dropped them on Brave. So I jumped into Eve with wanting to mine and get into industry. I started out mining in a, hey, we dropped caps through, thank you very much. Diva dropped 15. I started out in a, what is it? A mammoth with mining lasers, because that was the way you mined back in 2012. You stick 2 mining lasers in that bad boy, you sit it in the belt, and you fucking go watch a movie. The way that it works now with waste and compression, and this comes back to my point of why I feel like this is going to fuck over the Nubro experience in high sec. So the best way to compress ore without losing any of it, or losing the least amount through compression, is a Rorqual. The second best is an Orca. Third best is a Porpoise. And the worst is a Station. Now, considering you can't get a Rorqual into high sec, and Nubros have little or dick or chance of getting a Rorqual, you know, unless they credit card warrior the game, they're going to have to go to a station and compress their ores if they want to move them to the market to sell them. So on top of losing ore to waste using Tech 1 lasers and drones, because drones have a 100% waste chance, and I believe that Tech 1 has 100% or something crazy high like that. So they're going to be hitting the rocks, and they're already going to be losing out on ISK, because they're going to be, you know, a chunk of their ore is going to get turned into space dust. Then they need to take it to a station to compress it, and they're going to lose even more to compression, because stations are the worst for compressing ores with these theorized changes implemented, I don't know, projected changes. They're going to be losing a bunch of ore, so they're already going to be out of pocket. Not being able to use the best ship available, not going to be using, you know, all lasers, faction miners and stuff like that, and so they're already going to be losing out. And then when they go to the station and they compress the ore, they're going to be losing out by paying taxes to whoever owns the station high sec, and they're going to be losing out because, as I said, stations have the worst refining, they have the highest waste percentage, so they're going to be losing more ores. So our Nubros who are going to come in this game have now got a extra hurdle to step over to reach the, you know, to make the ISK, so they can play the game they want to play the game. Now, I know a lot of you guys who are probably here who will be playing the game for years, who have billions and trillions of ISK, are like, oh, it's not a big problem. And it's not for you guys. People who are already set up, this isn't going to be an issue. There's heaps of people who've got like 10 Rorquals sitting in, you know, their hangars and stuff like that. Yeah, I know the feeling, bro. And this just feels like another hurdle that CCP is put into trying to make ISK, which for people who have ISK is fine. They don't care. They've got ISK. You can spend your ISK to make ISK. But poor people in Eve, hashtag no pause allowed. The poor people in Eve, this is another hurdle that they are going to have to jump over to try and play. Well, see, there you go. You're asset rich. Asset rich is, you know, different than liquid rich. But yeah. So this is why I think it's going to affect more than just nullsec. This is why I think it's trying to. This is why I think that this change is going to affect more than just nullsec. It's definitely going to have a massive impact on highsec, where the best you can possibly try to use is an orca to compress your ore. I don't know. Oh wait, it does, but not as bad. I haven't got 10 raw core parts, man. I struggle to plex 2 accounts. Exactly. See, that's what it feels like CCP is trying to do. They're trying to push you into buying Plex so you can get ISK, so you can buy extractors, so you can get into a ship, so that way you can make ISK. Is what it's. I believe someone on the New In post stream yesterday or this morning of Australian time. So it was this morning for Australia. It was like fucking. I was 5 o'clock in the morning when I was streaming, and it feels like they are trying to. I'm not going to say it's pay to win, because I said that on the previous stream and someone explained to me why I was wrong, and I agree. This is freemium. This is like mobile game freemium. This is we are giving you an inconvenience, and we are giving you an option to pay to get past that inconvenience. So it's kind of like when you're playing clicker games and stuff like that, or idle games on your phone. They're like, hey, $2.50, we'll give you 12 hours off, your farming. And you're like, all right, cool, fuck it, let's do that. And it kind of feels like that's what they're doing at the moment with these changes. They're like, okay, now you could, hear me out, you could sit there for a month and train to get into the ship and run a whole bunch of low-level missions and get shitty mining stuff so you can finally get into the ship and fly. Or what you could do, right, and hear me out, right, this is what you could do. You could give us money for ISK and then buy injectors and skip that month and get straight into the ship that you want to. Emote only chat. I think it's /emote only. There you go. And yeah, so it's kind of what it feels like at the moment. Is it at least personally to me, it feels like CCP is putting road bumps with paid options to get around them. Also, thanks for the follows, guys. Really appreciate it. And it's personally for me because I love our new bros. We our in tests we have the Dino Nuggies, the Dino Nuggets, Tendies, and those bros are some absolutely amazing people. You won't find a better group of players than new bros, because you're cool there. How you doing, Mav?
You were like talking on stream. I was like, is he live or not?
All right, guys. I'm joined by the Trash Talk Thursday host, Mav. If you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah. So I'm a new bro. Started playing in February. Not really, but I did start playing in February. I don't really know much about the indie stuff, to be honest. But yeah. I did a Thursday Trash Talk show, and for some reason I did a stream about Jita yesterday.
Yeah, it was a pretty good stream. I'm going over some of the key points there at the moment. We're currently at the point where Eve is not moving free to play. Eve is moving into freemium.
That makes sense, yeah.
But yeah, so as I was saying, guys, in emote only is off now, it's just for the minute. Yeah. So like they've added the hey guys, you can pay to fly this stuff for a month or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was called. Do you remember what that was, Matt?
Oh god. Skill booster things. Let me go over like
Yeah, it's like they look like the little silver discs. So they've added a way that you can flash it, essentially, by paying.
Expert
Which
systems.
expert system. There you go. So they've added a system where you can pay to. Yes, it's louder. All right, give me a sec. I'll bump them down a bit. So they've added a system where you can literally pay to fly a ship, and that feels like once again it's a freemium thing. They're removing a hurdle. Now you've got new bros who need Tech 2 miners, who need Tech 2 drones to get the least amount of their maximum wastage, who need all these skills and everything, which means it's either you're gonna have to start hard and you're making pennies on the pound, or whatever the fuck the saying is. I don't know.
I honestly think it would be kind of cool. Is like I don't know how it would work with multi-boxing, and I think that's a big challenge CCP has is like balancing stuff when everyone is multi-boxing so hard. But like being able to like when you create like a new account or I guess yeah once per an account, being able to like have one of these like expert systems like unlocked, so you can like start somewhere.
That's not actually a bad idea. If you create an account not linked to any other email or however the heck they could set up to see if you're new, bro. And yeah, being like, hey, do you want to run missions? Then you can get this one for free for a month, or you want to do mining, you get this one for free for a month, or something.
I think they should just give you the skills, to be honest. Like, yeah. But at the end of the, like, on the other end of that, they also give you 1,000,000 skill points if you use an affiliate code. So it's kind of not that far away from it already, I guess.
True.
But yeah, I don't know. The expert, yeah, exactly. Someone said in chat, like, only if you know a buddy. Yeah, like, to be fair, there's a lot of people who are, like, spamming new bros almost to, like, say, like, hey, make sure you use, like, the redeem, not the redeem, the affiliate stuff, right?
Yeah.
Because,
Anyone
like, it
who's
benefits
made an
them
alt's
and you.
been bombarded by those spam messages where they've linked every fucking player that they can find.
Yeah.
I've got it. I made a market alt the other day to go sit in the mar, and straight away, hey, welcome to New Eden, blah blah blah. I'm such and such. If you're interested, you can use this code and come join my corp, and this will give you 3,000,000 skill points. Just delete your character and start again.
It kind of it would be nice, I guess, if CCP gave that to um non-referred characters as well.
Yeah, like kind of like a new bro intro skill point kind of thing, like they do with the login rewards. I know they have something
Yeah.
similar, but if they just add the 1,000,000 skill points at the end, if you weren't referred by a friend, that'd be pretty cool.
I definitely, yeah, level with that in the chat. Like, the only consolation at the moment really is like the AT. Like, I'm really enjoying the Alliance tournament, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, I do feel like CCP are going to make changes. Like, I think there's
Oh,
already
for
been a
sure.
reply from CCP saying that like they're going to like they're looking at stuff already. I don't know if you've discussed that already, Kale, or not.
Not yet. Not yet. No. Look, I think what they need to do
You've
with
seen
the
it?
current changes is they need to not do what they've done recently with a bunch of stuff, which is have it on Sissy for a week and then roll it out live. I think for a massive, massive change like this, they really need to keep it on Sissy for a couple of weeks, if not a month or more. Allow players to really test every facet out. Listen to the feedback from these players and then roll it out, not just half-ass this thing. So I think this is going to be really important.
Yeah, so this post from CCP Psych is quite interesting. They say, like, thank you all for the feedback so far. Keep it coming. We did push everything to the test server for a reason.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they're gonna look at the cycle times for compression modules. I must admit, I really don't like the compression mechanics. Like, I don't like indie at all anyway, but the compression mechanics seem incredibly tedious. The way you have to like load the module with ore and then cycle it and then load it with more ore.
From your cargo too, nonetheless, not from your ore bay. You got to move it from your ore bay to your cargo, from your cargo to the module. It doesn't automatically reload. But that's obviously a quality of life thing that they'll hopefully fix.
Yeah, I would hope so. They're gonna look at the waste probabilities. They're gonna try and bring back gas harvesting for frigates.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. They've also
Fitting
got gas
attributes.
harvesters for barges and stuff too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Potentially introducing barges exhumer gas bonuses. Yeah, that would be good. Potentially changing the fitting attributes of barges and exhumers.
Yeah, I
Adjusting.
personally don't like the procurer changes because those are like flying in the procs and on high sec is how the new bros don't get ganked because they can actually survive long enough as for Concord to arrive.
Yeah, hopefully
one
they
sec.
kind of change.
There was someone in the chat from Susie Cream Cheese. Started playing 2 months ago, put a bunch of SP into reprocessing, and they are completely redoing it. You will be refunded. I believe it's actually on. I'll link it again. It's one of the top points that they've got on their changes. They will be refunding up to 13 million skill points. Reallocated into the new categories. So they're condensing 19 skills into 6. You'll be refunded any skill points you spent up to 13,500,000. And optionally you can reallocate them into the new refining skills, which is only 11,700,000 skill points, which will actually net you just a little under 3 million free skill points. They're also refunding you the IST value of the skill books, which I don't think they've ever done that before. I know they've always refunded skill points.
I think that's quite good and quite a fair way of handling it. Whether or not like I agree with the changes or not, I think like when CCP are making these like wide changes, like doing it that way is good. I don't know in the past if they've like refunded skill points or like the ISK value of the books, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's that. Look, as much as we whinge, we bitch, we whine, and we hate CCP, we all have to admit that they do actually. They still do what they can. You know, clearly sometimes they may be a little bit out of touch, as we've seen, but they are still doing what they can, the best that they can, and we got to give them props for that.
Yeah, I feel like they've definitely, to an extent, missed the mark here. I don't necessarily agree we should go back to like the pre-scarcity days because fuck rooks, like, and like multi-boxing rooks and like just all of that old stuff was really broken, right? But at the same time, it is obvious that like they've kind of missed the market. But they do seem to be listening to feedback. Like, I've not been playing long enough to like really know like the history of like CCP's like awful changes in the past. But as of late, it does seem like they're maybe starting to listen to some feedback, and I kind of like I want to trust Philly when he defends them and says, you know, like they're listening, they're going to iterate. You know, like yeah.
Look, I trust Philly.
Well, not just Philly, but like the CSM, right?
I mean, look, you can propaganda and shit as much as you want, like war-wise with Philly, but when it comes to this side of thing, like when it comes to the CSM, Billy's got a lot of experience in the game. He has a lot of experience dealing with CCP, and also being a member of the CSM, he knows stuff that we can't. So when he comes up to us and he sits there and goes, "Look, I can't tell you, but trust me, it's going to be okay," 9 times out of 10 it is. Billy still does play Eve. He's just stepped down as military director of test. He's just now playing Eve for himself, so to speak. You know, he's playing the game that he wants to play, not the diplomacy game. Give me a sec. Let me throw this picture up.
Yeah, it's a good picture. I can totally understand why some people will feel like they've lost faith or trust in CCP. I totally understand that. And I think for those people who have been kind of hurt by CCP, like CCP are gonna have to prove themselves again, right? But maybe they'll get there. But I think there definitely are some people in the community who are like, no, fuck CCP, like regardless of like if they are improving or not. And I think that's kind of unfair.
Yeah. I mean, all we can really do is sit here and wait. I'm
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
I'm voicing my concerns. Whether or not CCP listens to, I'm one voice among many, and I will admit I don't know shit. I just know where I'm coming from. All right, give me a second. Let me throw this up on the screen.
Nice. There we go.
There we go. Okay, so that is the CCP. It looks like it's off the forum post.
Yeah, I think so. I'll try and find the actual post.
Thank you all for the feedback so far. Keep it coming. We did push everything to the test server for a reason. Below you can see a non-exhaustive list of things you'll be looking into immediately, not from Monday on. I will admit, while we were burning, we weren't really burning. While we were peacefully protesting in Jita, CCP was reaching out to various members of the CSM and I'm not going to say high-ranking, but well-known members of the EVE community, and asking them what they think, what they thought, what they wanted to see change. So that was actually pretty cool of CCP. They were listening. They saw we weren't happy, and they came out and asked the questions. So they'll be revisiting the cycle times for compression modules, which is great, because one raw pool would take over 70 hours with 5 modules to compress an entire 28-day pool. Reducing the Orca industrial core cycle duration, which will be great for people in high sec, because we know Orcas are getting ganked all the time. All the waste probabilities will be revised. Okay, that's going to be pretty cool. As I said, for the new bros, waste is a massive thing, because all the entry level stuff that you can get in is all 100% waste. 100% chance of waste. Ways to bring back gas hardening bonuses to frigates. Potential increase of fighting attributes of barges and fitting attributes. Sorry, not fighting. Adjusting the porpoise's main and specialization holds. The implications will be to allow moon ore compression with 90% efficiency in structures. See, I wouldn't mind that. Considering how expensive some of these structures are, the rigs, the modules and everything, like it felt personally, as I said, I'm not a miner, I'm not an industry person, I haven't got the brains for it. Those of you who are on this chat who do that kind of stuff, I seriously tip my hat to you. I read the guides and look at the spreadsheets and my fucking eyes go cross-eyed. You guys are absolute mad lads for being able to do that stuff. And you keep us in ships. So, industry bros, I tip my hat to you guys. Adding a PvP timer.
Reading this thread, it's interesting seeing people being like, oh, I'm going to unsub like my 10 Rock accounts. Like, I don't think someone should be multi-boxing 10 rocks, like, to be honest. Like,
no, I don't think the way things were not healthy for the game. I don't.
Yeah, for sure.
I do not believe it.
Whether or not CCP should change it so that rocks are no longer a mining kind of ship, I don't know. Like, from a content perspective, going out and hunting rocks would be nice. But on the other hand, when you've got like someone multi-boxing 10 rocks, that's like a significant amount of capability, right? And
yeah,
there are balance issues with that.
I mean, look, it's not going to be easy. I know Redline had some ideas, but Redline's a lot more like kind of change minded than I am.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have no idea personally how like you would do it, but
yeah,
I don't do indie. If Rogues kept the yield, but Panic is 1 minute, Uh, I don't. I don't think it really helps.
Yeah, I don't know why they've added the compression module. I personally don't actually see an issue with the way that raw cools and stations compress now, which is you just click the button. I think it's fine. As I said on the show yesterday, if I wanted like a fully integrated, immersive mining experience where it takes you hours to get from rock to finished product, I'd download one of like the mining simulator games where you've got to dig it out and sift it and put it through the machine and then grab the ore and then smelt it and then turn it into bars and then sell it. Like I'd grab a different game. I like
Yeah.
being awake at 4 o'clock in the morning and jumping on with my corpies and getting handed a procurer and being told, go hit that rock and then give me the stuff and I'll give you the ISK. And I was like, no, that's what I like to do. I don't want to go through 20 goddamn steps when I'm hating myself for being awake at 5 o'clock in the morning anyway.
I definitely like. For me, that's the only way I would ever go mining. To be honest, is to like just give them the ore and like get given money, and you're getting screwed over a little bit when you do that because obviously, like they take your cart and etc. But I don't have time to like do all that really hardcore indie stuff.
Yeah. So I'm reading the comments at the moment from Kindle and Sayach. So you kind of both are on the same point. I think that with the changes at the moment, we're going to see probably one Rock wool on a belt. So that Rock wool will be on a belt. It'll be giving links, and it'll probably just be tractoring ore across. I think you're going to see orcas and porpoises in belts and ice belts. Maybe one rock wool. In ice belts, probably none in asteroid belts for the time being, until we find out whether or not there's enough actual rocks there to make it worth it. So there's still going to be a rock wool in each of the aforementioned mining situations. But you are going to see a shit ton more barges, I think. Especially
think you
considering they've
might
added double the rocks.
I think you might see a rock per person or per mining fleet now, potentially. If this stays in the game, the conduit jumping capability of a rock, that's going to be really cool. And I think it's quite possible that people running really big multi-boxing fleets or just people who are running like mining fleets with friends will use rocks. They'll all go kind of stay around the rock, and if someone comes in, then they'll conduit jump out. Whether or not I think that's going to be great, I mean, like, hopefully the indie core is there to kind of tie the rock down long enough, and
Well, you
maybe
need
they
the
make
indie
it.
core for your links to reach an entire moon when you sit in the center of it. So there's always going to be a
Yeah.
rock wool in indie for boosts.
The problem is you don't necessarily, because of the range of conduit jumping, you wouldn't necessarily have those ships far away from the rock. But maybe, I guess, yeah, if they have the indie core on and then the ships have to like run back towards the rock so the rock can conduit jump out, like maybe there is enough time for people with like dictators to get a bubble down there.
Well, it shouldn't be too hard. Like I still think even with the conduit jumping, I don't think that's going to be. I think conduit jumping is going to be used to move the fleet into position or into a system onto a moon. I don't think it's going to be a very useful escape tool unless you literally just came out of indie core as the enemy came in, the dicta lands on field and you jump out. I think it's going to be a very narrow window to use it as an escape tool. Because once you're in indie core and they drop that bubble on you, you're stuck.
Yeah, for sure. Also, like, imagine if every time like someone came into local, like you jumped out the entire mining fleet. How annoying that would get. The red timer you would build up, etc.
Exactly. So I still think there's going to be whaling. I still think you're going to get 1 to 2 rock wools on the moon for links. There's still going to be moons where really stubborn people are not going to want to not stop using their rock wool to mine. So I think whaling's still going to be on the menu, lads. Like,
I must admit, I don't find whaling to be the most interesting kind of gameplay. Like, it's fun, but like,
yeah, look, don't get me wrong, it's not my cup of
uh,
tea either, but it is some people's. I don't like ganking, but there are people whose whole gameplay style is surrounded about ganking. I'm not good at whaling. Okay, so to answer your question, you can compress in structures, but it's worse. Yeah, and you can't compress the Moongul in structures. So Rorquals are the best for compressing. They have the least amount of waste, they have the least amount of loss, followed by an Orca at second, third is a Porpoise, and finally a Stations. Stations are actually the worst at compressing with these proposed changes because of the waste percentage that you'll be getting. So it's actually better, and the way that the system's set up, it's better. So I think if you can compress in posers, we're going to see posers in space with like 10, 20 Rorquals, just, cans next to them or hangers or whatever, just crushing rocks. Compressing rocks inside of a pos.
God, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it sounds like the old moon days. Well, basically, yeah, they're pushing you in Rorquals, which is why, as I said, and why it's in the title, Nerfing the Nubro experience, you can't get Rorquals in high sec. You can only use orcas or porpoises or the structures, and a lot of Nubros aren't going to have an orca or porpoise or trust anyone with their rocks if they don't know anybody. If they're new to the game, they're not going to try. Oh, hey man, give me your rocks and I'll compress them for you. Just pay me this much, and then they fly off with your rocks. There goes your hard-earned, isk. So they're going to be using stations. They're going to be losing out on rocks because of the waste, and they're going to be losing out on taxes. And it's just, they're trying to keep the little man down, bro. I'm not sure if you need to be in indie core for the modules to run. Okay, so you don't.
So like with rocks, crunching people's rocks, there are like there is a way for like mining fleets to track how much moon ore they're mining
You
and
can
to
do it through
distribute that
Seed and
out and stuff.
Earth.
Yeah, and there's like a pretty good mining fleet site. I can't remember what it's called, but I've used that with some friends before. So like, it is possible to track it. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's definitely ways you can track it. You can track how much of how much you mined. And there's going to be some very smarter people than myself who are IT minded who are easily going to come up with tools using API to be like, okay, you gave them this much, they compressed it into this much, this is how much you get. I know
Yeah.
that my corp has a tracking tool, so we contract all. So we've got a buyback in Black Omega Security. So we go to our corp moons and we vulture the damn thing to oblivion. Everything is tracked inside of this tool. We contract it all back to the corp at Zero ISK. They run the tool. After they've gotten all the ore, it goes, okay, this is how much was mined, this is how much was contracted. Yep, everything's all green. This is how much they're owed at current market values. So then it's pretty simple for us directors. We just have a look at the tool. We go, okay, X such and such is mined this much. So the tool says that it's this much, 80% of that. Boom, there's his ISK. And that's how we do it in Omega. I'm not sure what the tool's called. Sorry, mate.
I found the one that I'm aware of.
Yeah, it's a tool we use is actually being written into our Discord bot. So we just type in stuff in the Discord bot. I can ask my IT guys and find out what the program's called, mate.
That's the one that I've used with some people before.
Oh, sweet. Cheers for that, man. No, I'm not a programmer. We've got people in our corp who are programmers, and that is like their careers, and they're the guys who set it up and make the programs and the bots for us.
It's just linked another tool in the chat.
EVHR, yeah.
So, yeah, there's plenty of kind of tools to track like mining.
Oh yeah, man. That's pretty sick, dude. I got a little respect for the IT guys. Like, you guys are what allow alliances to run with the multiple tools that we use, man. So mad respect for you for running the IT of your alliance.
I'm not sure if you can compress unless you are sieged.
I believe that it's based on skills, not anything else at the moment. Look,
Probably that means you can compress on tether though. Which
Yeah.
seems wrong.
Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure you've got to be sieged. We still don't know too much about the
100% sure.
modules. I wish Cryo was here. You know, he's been playing around with it a fair bit. So yeah, that's what I'm 90% sure you've got to be siege for the modules to run, which is why everyone was saying you've got to compress in your pause. Yeah, I mean, CCP keeps saying they're trying to make pauses obsolete, but have once again created a new mechanic that is going to rely on pauses.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that.
As I said, I'm worried about how new bros trying to get into the game who want to try to get into mining are just got to come up against a wall. I mean, they won't realize there is a new wall there until people, remember the glory days of when you could do this, and these guys are going to be like, why am I doing 16 steps when you used to have to do 2 and you made 10 times as much as me? Yeah, it definitely feels like pods is going to be big again. Okay, CCP Psych said you don't have to be sieged to compress, but you lose tether when you use it. Yeah,
Okay, cool. So that works.
Yeah, it basically means people are going to be using pulses then, if that's the case. They're not going to risk having their raw core sit on a structure for 4.5 minutes. When you can't panic because there's no rocks nearby. Either
Yeah,
that
I
or
remember
they'll...
someone in Brave losing their rock on the first day because they were using it as a cloaky compression platform.
Yeah. No, the Rorqual bonus, fleet bonus, like, they are going to become even better Lynx boats, judging from what they've written in the notes. They're going to become even stronger at Lynx. So I think they want to turn Rorquals from being miners into being support barges again, or capital support barges. So massive Lynx, compression. I know they're doing changes to shield logi, fucking remote shield reps range and stuff too. So I think it's definitely, they're there to support a barge fleet. They're not going to be solo miners anymore. You don't need a pause. You can just turn off the module. You lose whatever you were compressing, but it's instant. Damn, that doesn't sound right, man. That seems cheesy. Seems very, very cheesy.
Don't think you should be able to disable the module.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be on grid for links. Gone is the age of off-grid links. Trying to scan the bastards down and kill them. You you didn't play during the age of off-grid links, did you, Mav?
No, I remember hearing about that and it blew my fucking mind. Like, the fact that my Lynx boats could be, like, in a pause somewhere or something like that. That's absolutely insane.
And fighters being like Africanized rats, man, that used to chase you around the system.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this stuff. I honestly, like, I'm kind of sad that I missed some of this stuff.
Oh, dude, my Archon got a couple of kill marks on it when I was going to make dinner. I was clearing a site with my fighters. So this is like during triage Archon days. So your tank was 2 reppers and a bunch of hardeners, and just set your fighters off and go do something. Come back in 20 minutes. I came back to 3 kill nails for 2 max and a saber. Apparently they jumped in on me. They jumped in on me, tried to kill me, and my fighters chased them all around system and killed all 3 of them. They went back to
That's
finishing
quite
the
funny.
site.
Part of me also wishes like I got to witness the insanity that was being able to doomsday via a Sino. Like I can imagine if seeing a fleet into like my entire fleet dying to like a fucking Sino doomsday and losing my shit. Like that must have been wild.
6 million M3s, 4 to 7 hours. Yeah. So max skills, Cryo Huron did the math. Max skills is 4.5 minutes for 10,500 M3. And that, yeah, considering the fact that you might be able to fit 5 of those on, you know, that's what, 50,000, 52,500 M3 every 4.5 minutes. Which is why, and I'll put it back up on the screen again, the CCP changes are looking at revisiting all cycle times for compression modules, which is at the very top, which I think is going to be awesome because one raw call taking over 70 hours to compress 1 moon, like smaller alliances and smaller corporations and stuff that don't have like 50 raw calls hanging around, that's gonna hit their bottom line with, you know, time versus. In the early days, you had what you could ram with your ship, and actually do damage. Can you imagine ramjags nowadays actually doing damage to ships when they just come flying out of nowhere?
Yeah, that would be insane.
Or
Holy shit.
or bump rorks.
Or bump faxes, yeah.
Oh god, that'd be crazy.
That would be pretty cool.
Undocs were a party. Jeez, yeah, they would be. Jita would just be wrecks everywhere. Yeah, bigger alliances, I guess, with a shit ton of moons, they're gonna. But it really depends on how alliances do their moons. If they nationalize them or if they auction them off to individual corporations inside of the alliance.
I think the auctioning strategy is a lot more viable now.
I don't know. I like the idea
Because
of
kind of-
nationalized moons personally because it means everyone gets a dig, and everyone has a chance to make ISK, even if you're not in that time zone. Like, I'm in Black Omega Security. Absolutely love them. But there's only 3 Australians. The rest of them are. Hey, thanks for following, mate. The rest of them are Euro trash like yourself, and Americans.
I quite liked what we did in Brave, where the R64s were nationalized and the rest were rented to corps. That was quite nice. And so you would just pay tax on the R64 you mined.
I know we tried it towards the end of the war to nationalize the moons in Delve.
Oh god, Pappy mining ops.
Yeah, the locust fleets.
Yeah.
First man get the Procura, second man get crystal. When first man dies, second man pick up crystal. Oh, but no, it wasn't too bad. But I don't know. It's at the time yesterday when we were in Jita, I was really annoyed with everything and I was up in arms. But having slept on it and thought about it and looked at it a bit more, I think, you know, he who shall not be named because it'll start a whole argument in the chat was right in the fact that we need to just. I think we needed to do the riot. I think we needed to do the protest. I think we needed to go to Jita. I didn't even say his name and it's already starting.
Yeah.
I think that we needed to show our dissatisfaction with the current way that CCP has been rolling out the last year to 3 years of updates. No, I don't ban people, man. I don't give a shit. Everyone's everyone's entitled to their opinion as long as you keep it civil. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you hate Billy. But as long as you're not toxic about it, man, I'm not gonna ban you, bro. That's just not how I roll personally.
I felt very nervous hosting yesterday, and the super conversation came up with Billy and Cryer, and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. Like, this is gonna get spicy.
Bro, I was in the show with Billy, Matani, and Suis.
Oh
Shut up and
god,
shut.
yeah.
Right? You were on the edge of your seat. What the hell is about to happen? You jump on that show, and then you've got Pro God being like, "I'm coming home from the bar."
Oh god.
Oh,
I agree with Doc in chat saying, like, this update punishes early players, which is not okay. Like,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's exactly how I feel. I truly believe that a lot of the Rorqual miners who are like, I'm going to unsub my 10 accounts. Dude, you have enough ISK to sub 10 accounts. You've got enough ISK for 10 Rorquals. You'll be able to survive this and work out a way to work around it. Because you've got the skills and you've got the ISK to buy the skill injectors for the new crystals and the new stuff. I don't think it's okay for our new bros. Yeah, our new bros are going to get hit hard.
Having 10 injected Rock accounts does not seem healthy at all. Like, it just doesn't seem right.
Okay, so Freak, the way that the changes are written at the moment is with the waste and everything, alright? So you're a new bro, you've just started the game, alright? You go out and you want to do some mining to make money because that's what you enjoy playing games. You enjoy mining. So you go out with your Tech 1 miner, you go out with your Tech 1 mining drones in your frigate. You are looking at 100% waste from the Tech 1 drones. Actually, you're looking at 100% waste from drones, period. And you're looking at 100% expected waste probability with a volume modifier of 1 for a Tech 1 module. So you start hitting those rocks and you're not getting much rocks because you're sitting at like 100% waste. Then you go to a station and you compress the ore so you can sell it. Your stations are the worst for compression. You're losing more at more waste, so you're losing more rocks, and then you're paying tax on top of that. So instead of, say, as I said, this is just pulling numbers out of my ass. Say instead of mining, 10,000 M3 and getting 10 million ISK, you mine 10,000 M3, you lose 5,000 M3 because of waste, and then on top of when you compress that 5,000, it goes to 4,000 because of the waste of compression on top of tax, and then you go sell that. You've done all the time and effort to mine 10,000 to get 10 million, and all you're ending up selling is 4,000 for 3 million because you've got all tax and everything on top of it. Yeah, the waste just turns into space dust. So it's not gonna leave waste everywhere. But yeah, so new bros are basically, they need to be in Tech 2 ships using Tech 2 everything. They need to bling the fuck out of their ships. Faction modules are the best. No 0% waste of faction modules. So that seems to me, and I've said this before earlier in the stream, seems to me that CCP is pushing a freemium phone game kind of thing, where, hey guys, we are making these inconveniences, but if you buy Plex and then turn that Plex into ISK and buy skill injectors and the Tech 2 mods and the faction mods, you can skip this road bump. And that's not cool for new players. That's not going to help with retention, in my opinion. Now, things might change. If you look up the CCP Psych dev blog on the screen at the moment, they're definitely looking into it. But at the moment, the way that I personally feel, and the way that it's written, and the way my brain thinks it's put, is this is going to be a massive roadblock for new bros to make ISK. But for players who already have a shit ton of ISK, it's not going to be a problem. So hopefully that explains why it's going to be an issue for new bros. Like, satisfactory for you, man. It's 100% loss on Tech 1 modules. So drones have 100% expected waste probability, and all drones have 100% expected waste probability. So these new bros who are just getting into the game, who can't use Tech 2 modules, who can't use, you know, all that kind of stuff to help mitigate it, they're going to be getting a lot less bang for their buck. And I think this is going to be a bit of an issue. It's basically just adding another hurdle for people to make money in the early game. Sounds about right, doesn't it, Mav?
I think so, yeah. It's hard for sure to kind of reason about some of this stuff when you're not super experienced with mining, but yeah, I think your take is right. What happened with Villy and the meta show? What?
Billy was in the meta show?
Something happened last night?
Bro, I think you know more about this than me. Azazel, was Billy on the meta show, or did they just mention Billy on the meta show?
I was gonna say, if Philly was on the meta show, that would be kinda wild.
Yeah, that'd be nuts. No, I had no idea. As I said, I stayed up until like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. With Mav on the emergency edition of the New Eden Post, live from the riots at Jita. And excuse me, sorry. And then yeah, I went to bed about lunchtime. So I'm not sure what happened on the meta show. I think that meta show started as I was passing out. I know Villy jumped on to the New Eden Post stream. He talked about his views with CCP and what he's been talking to CCP, and as a CSM member, what he was allowed to say. And then I think they kind of went on to a big ass couple of hours spiel about the Alliance tournament.
You know what? Like, I'm really grateful for I can't remember who it was. The people who did come on to like discuss like the AT stuff, because yeah, I mean, like, to be frank, like that stream going on for 5 hours was insane, but we had the viewers, so it felt like we should just kind of do something with them. And so yeah, I'm glad they came on to discuss like the Alliance tournament.
Also, guys, look, if you check the about section, and actually, I know that some people can't see the about section. So I'm going to send a Discord link at the moment. Discord link's in the chat. This is a Discord link to the New Eden Post. So there's some of you guys here who appear to know more about us at the moment, or more about the math. If you want to join that Discord, jump in the Drag Me channel. We'll throw you on the show right now, and you can have your say. Like, there's, you know, it's an open forum. It's a free floor. There's no hate or anything. Like, we want this discussion. We would like to know more. And if we're wrong, then show us how we're wrong. You know, man? Like, this isn't an echo chamber. You can only learn by discussing. So if you feel like jumping on and having a discussion, or putting your point of view across, or what would you like to see happen, join the Discord, jump in the Drag Me, jump on the show. Plus, that way it's not just me and Mav, because Luke's off, I think, shooting fraternity, someone said in chat earlier.
I did wonder where he was.
Luke's a young lad and the country's opening up, so he's off sowing his oats in fraternity space.
Oh, apparently they got kicked out of frat space.
Oh, you guys, look, Frat are scary in their response times. Like, if any of you guys are from fraternity or watching, man, you guys have got some crazy good response times for fleets getting into your space. It's kind of spooky.
You were on that fleet yesterday, weren't you, where we went through threat staging?
Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, fraternity's response time, 2 minutes, 250 pilots in system is absolutely, it's nuts,
Insane.
man. Yeah, it is. It's pretty spooky.
Yeah, so that's interesting, discussing how like the waste is taken into account with the industry index. And I think there'll be a lot more discussion about that in the thread. I'll link it again. But there's a thread on the E forums right now where CCP are kind of asking for feedback. Let me link. There you go. So yeah, there's some like really good conversation going on in that thread with CCP, and they definitely seem to be listening. I don't necessarily think our Jita right yesterday was a great thing, and like it's probably not going to achieve much given that they were like listening to people in that thread anyway. But you know, I got to see my first Jita riot, so that was cool.
Yeah, I remember some of the older original burn Jitas, like where we were just killing things before the Concord changes.
Before the Concord changes, what?
So you know how Concord now basically divide your ship by 0?
Yeah.
They didn't used to do that. They used to just do normal damage, so you could tank them.
Oh. Wow. Okay.
So you'd have a group go in first, super tanked with Logi, and they'd grab all, because Concord was capped, I believe, at the time. They'd grab all the Concord and just tank it, while everyone else sat on the Jitter undock and killed everything. And now,
Holy shit.
and now Concord, I believe, is not limited, or it's like 250 Concord you can get into one system. Yeah, and then the bumping changes as well.
Makes sense.
So you know about the bumping. Okay, well, I'll say it for people who didn't know.
Yeah.
You used to be able to bump people, so people would go into warp and used to be able to bump them continuously and stop their warp. Now, after 3 minutes, even if they're not even facing the gate, they'll walk backwards. So yeah, you can't really.
I love seeing ships warp backwards.
Yeah, my Archon warped sideways the other day. It was great.
I remember doing some crazy warps with my Titan on the T5 keep. I had like a attack grid set up so I could like warp off on tether, but on the back of the keep star, and then I could warp to like the undock, so I could like bridge people very quickly. It was pretty useful.
Wasn't there you drop a bookmark at 70 in front of the keep star, walk to it at 100, and you end up on the undock or something?
Yeah, there was stuff like, I think mine was like needlessly complicated, but yeah, there was like quite a number of ways of doing it.
Well, I mean, the way that you just explained you do it is probably the safest because you're in tether both times, where 70 kilometers in front of the keep star, if you misclick, good luck getting back.
Yeah. I think with mine you did have to warp at 100 to the back bookmark, because if you didn't, you would be out of tether. But yeah.
Oh god, I remember buying bookmarks.
Wait, you couldn't warp at 0?
No, there was no warp to 0. You had to do everything manually. Haven't you seen the ProGod video where he rages at us in tests for basically being given wheelchairs and still not being able to roll in the right direction?
Oh my god.
You haven't seen that? Oh mate.
No.
Alright. Give me a sec. I've got it pinned.
I'm gonna have to watch that at some point now.
Alright.
I've seen the one of ProGod screaming that he doesn't have 2 dictors, of course. Like,
by the famous. If I believe we're
Yeah.
gonna be 2 dictors.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Link in chat, guys. Enjoy the enjoy what is Pro God Raid.
Oh, I think I have seen this.
I was in that fleet. I was running Logi at the time. Relink? Yeah, sure thing. There you go, mate. Yeah, we were in the fleet at the time. We were I think we were fighting Frat. We had to go through a wormhole to get to Frat space, which is like why everyone's like, ah shit, we're dead.
Do that and fucking do that.
Yes.
Who is that?
Who is that? Durbin Durl Herbigert? And yeah, then he goes on about the old days of. Well, there you go. The video's there. Watch it. It's absolutely amazing. I love Frogod. He's an amazing guy. He's a great FC. He does. He definitely is a character. They fucked up safe mining. They fucked up the scarce. They lose exuma bonuses per skill level. 2% reduction stream minus half duration. Yeah, they've definitely a lot of mining's definitely taken a hit. And as I've said, older players who have a shit ton of money who were there during the golden age of super ratting, titan ratting, and raw core mining, they've got the money that they can still keep making money. New bros and poor players, this is just going to make even more, making ISK even harder. The risk versus reward is now a lot more risk for a lot less reward. Yeah, it feels like they hate poor people. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand that they're trying to get a lot of ISK out of the game, stop ISK printing, make it harder for supers and titans. But I think they're going about it the wrong way, because people who already have these things aren't going to be affected by these changes. But people like myself, who the most ISK I've ever seen is currently in my wallet, which is 9 billion. And that was because I sold a bunch of dreads that I didn't need after the war. So it's the most ISK I've ever had in my life, 9 billion ISK. And I talk to people who have got like, over like hundreds of billions, and they're like, bro. Alright, so we have Sin Alama joining us now. Sin is the Eve Down Under event boss man. How are you doing, Sin? Why did you just go back to that channel?
I don't know.
So Sin is the boss man for Eve Down Under. How you doing, buddy?
Nate, I'm doing so great. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I saw your 2.9 billion Varga. You beat my 2.8 billion Vindy kill by 100 mil.
Oh man, yeah, the Vargo we got just before downtime. Yeah, he was just like gating, man. Just like gating. We'd gone to a region, it was bust, there was nothing, and then he just gated past one of the hunters. And then he chose to engage the hunter. Bad move.
Fair enough. Alright, mate, well, give me 1 second. Let me throw Eve Down Under timer back onto the stream, and you can go through and tell us all the goodies and new informations that you have. There you go.
Yeah, of course. So I am just having a think of what to say. So actually, I got a sweet jumper, like a hoodie from CCP. I've been away with work for the last week, and I got home, and on my keyboard was this package, Express Post, blah blah blah. And yeah, they've given me one of those fleet up jumpers. So I'll be wearing that for the stream, despite the fact that it's going to be hot as balls. Hey, look, yeah, it's this Friday. We're going to start with a bit of a roam. Thera is where we're going to meet up. You guys are the first to know actually where we're starting from. So we'll meet up there. We'll hand out some ships, and we'll go have a bit of fun on Friday. Saturday though is the main event, right? Which is do you have it up? Like it's not in front of me, but I feel like it's like 0900.
0900 CCP keynote address.
Yeah, so that is the keynote address. So, hey, all this Quadrant 4 stuff is going to be discussed between CCP and us. So, if you want to get the skinny, you want to ask some questions about it, that's a really good time to get in and jump into the stream. We're then going to have an Ask Me Anything thing. So, it's probably the first time the public has the ability to address CCP directly on Quadrant 4, which is a little bit topical at the moment, right? I don't know.
Actually, last year we did shoot CCP.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I personally, I don't care about wormhole, but I'm pretty excited to let the public chat to them. CCP also has some questions for you as players, so if you're in a position to answer them, that'd be pretty cool. After that, we get some Aussies up to chat about Aussie stuff, and some of them aren't even Aussies, right? They're just people that play in our time zone. So we'll chat a bit about that, and we've also got the PvP tournament. So we're going to put a ping out tomorrow about the PvP tournament, when the last time to join is. So if people do want to jump in, I mean, there's a whole bunch of really unique stuff CCP's provided for the tournament, as in prizes, which I can't release just yet, but they're unique. Like, they're not just lame stuff. That's about it, man.
Eve
That's
Down
my
Under Discord has just been linked in the chat, so feel free
legend.
to join. Yeah, man, I'm on the ball, bro. I'm on the ball. So yeah, the Discord that I just linked into chat is for the Eve Down Under Discord. All the information will be there, as well as all the announcements that Sin will be posting in the announcements channel.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't actually. If I do decide to put my ugly mug up on for the Saturday, I've got my We Invaded Delve, and all I got was this crappy T-shirt from the New Eden Post store, which is in the about section.
Mate, I'm going to clean my room.
I'm not going to bother. I'm going to stick a sheet up on the wall.
That's a very good idea.
That's what I did with the camp show. I stuck a sheet because behind me is the cupboard. It's a mirror. So it's like I didn't want, the whole Inception look going on, so I had to throw a sheet up on the back.
Yeah.
But look, actually, we spent the last hour and a half talking about the new changes with CCP.
Oh, what's the footnotes? Like, what's the resolution?
So are you watching the stream at the moment, Sin?
I'm not, but hang on. How can I click on it? So I'm in your little Discordy thingy.
No, if you just check out the New Eden Post, you can actually see CCP has put up a statement about it at the moment.
Hang on, so if I just click on the stream thing, yep, so click that, boom. Done. I'm in the stream. I'm watching an ad, but that's fine.
I can skip ads because I'm a mod, and also because I'm subscribed. So if you want to skip ads, subscribe to New Eden Post.
Subscribe.
Don't forget to ring that. Yo, it's your boys, K-Legalized.
There it is.
Of Test Alliance. Please ignore, don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that bell for all my future content. Yeah. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Basically, my view on the entire thing is it's gonna fuck New Bros over. Just because of the waste. God, man, how many times have I gone through this spiel?
But what's the thing? Is it a module thing? Is it? Because I mean, for me, a Newbro can now mine anything. Like, you don't have to just mine ice and ore. You can now mine gas in a covenant.
Yeah, but so I'm just going from my experience as a Newbro joining this game because I was playing X3 and wanting to get into mining. So you jump in the system, you jump in, you do your tutorial, you do your missions, you do the mining missions, all that kind of stuff. So you jump into a mining frigate because that's all you can fly at the time, which has reduced bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
You're using a
as in, this is the wastage thing, right? So some of the stuff they mine doesn't become mineral.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So using Tech 1 miners and drones, you're at 100% waste. So every cycle, you are guaranteed to be losing.
So what if the Newbro experience, so the missions you're talking about, require less? So what if whatever the wastage is was just reduced from the deliverable of that mission? So sure, I agree with you.
Doable.
If they're gonna mine, say, titanium, or so feldspar to get titanium to sell in Jita, they're at a loss. But as far as mission doing, what if they were not impacted? Would that be okay?
I mean, the fact is still going to be at a loss, right? So the way that you get net zero for mining loss, essentially, is close to. You need either Tech 2 or Faction, and you need to be in the barge or an Exuma. Now, the easiest way to do this, and the way that CCP keeps... sorry, my cat just jumped on my desk. the way the CCP is pushing this, it feels like, is, hey guys, you can, oh fuck, what was it called, Mav? The discs that
Expert
give you,
systems.
yeah, either pay for an expert system and you can mine for a month without getting the skills, or buy Plex, get a skill injector, get into the ship, and have leftover IS to get the texture modules. It kind of feels like CCP's put a inconvenient hurdle in place that can be circumvented by paying money.
Right, but new players, whilst I did, like many players, we went and mined in high sec because, I don't know, that was the thing you did in most MMOs, right? Like you went and cut down trees or mined rocks or whatever. That has never been a profitable experience for new players. So what I'm really worried about is that there are experienced and veteran players like you and I and the like. I really worry that we say it's hurting the new bro, but what we really mean is this hurts me and my veteran player style. Because I don't actually think any new player in the game
Veterans
who
are fun.
mines
They've got the-
really ever made any money out of mining, right? Like no one ever made money out of it. What's it called? What's that thing? The little yellow mining ship thing.
The venture.
The venture.
Someone-
No one ever made money out of venture mining, right? In high sec, no one.
I did a rags to riches attempt starting off an adventure, and I worked my way up to it too, and it took for fucking ever, but it was doable.
Someone actually shared this same opinion as you yesterday, Sin. Like they've not been, like people haven't been suggesting that new bros go and mine for a long time now.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know, man, because you will
well,
though. Like
just
that's an
quickly-
MMO thing. Like I played New World recently, and that's what you do, right? Like, you go and mine the
God,
rock
no,
and the
no.
tree or whatever. But like I get it, but yeah, I'm just cautious of the concern players have and whether
Look,
it's
actually, speaking of, someone just said it. Eve Dobra, you aren't losing ore. There is just all left in the rock. The amount you mine is the same as before the patch. You mine the exact same amount. It's just that the rock depletes faster. They changed that by doubling the size. For Nubro, there is zero change. For high sec, that doesn't matter at all. Okay, that's cool. Have you got anything to back this up? Like, as I said, like I'm just going off what I've read in the notes, what I've talked to people and everything. Sorry.
So my greatest concern, and I think CCP will probably modify it, is the compression time, right? Like, you mine a lot of stuff, and people are being a bit extreme with how much they could mine, and I absolutely understand that in the recent past people mine that much, but you mine a lot of stuff and you got to compress it. The cycle time is slow, right? Heaven forbid you should have to just dock and compress, but that's certainly a long time. So that's a thing I think we've got wrong. But I think that's an easy fix. Like it's just a number change.
Okay, as I said, like I've stated it yesterday and I stated it before. I'm just one guy with a view and an opinion and the way my brain works when I read something. There is 100% chance that I could be wrong. Which is why I'm more than happy to invite you guys to hop on the show and have your view, have your say in what you know. So yeah, like so if what Eve Dobber is saying is true, that's actually good because that takes a weight off my shoulder because I seriously thought New Bros were going to be going from making X amount of S to having less because of the changes. Because I've got a couple of mates who recently started playing Eve, and they're mining in high sec at the moment. They made their own little corporation, all 6 of them, and they mine the belts.
Yeah, so what I think people are concerned about is, I mean, there's a bunch of things, right? But I think some pretty valid concerns are, number one, compression, but let's park that. And number two is what some guys are saying in the chat is that a inferior skilled miner is probably going to be less welcome, right? Because for each cycle, they're going to be wasting more than a more experienced and better fit, right? So that's it's a concern, but I mean that's a thing, right?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, guys. I guess when it comes down to crunch time, it's we've because you aware, Sin, of the riots.
Yeah. So I logged in. So I've been away for a bunch of days with work, and I came home today. I logged in, and Jita was quite slow. I thought it was my computer, and there was fuckloads of dudes like fireworking the monument.
They're
right?
still fireworking it, are they?
Oh my god.
Do they like? What's quite funny for me though is it is like CCP has created something for you to go protest on. Like it's you're absolutely feeding into CCP's game. Like, I mean, imagine that, right? Like you wanna be upset at CCP, so you log into their game with an Amiga and you go shoot at something. And I will bet you most of those people shooting that structure are off running their super or their carrier or their Rorqual or their mining barge right now, or running in a wormhole or whatever at the same time on another screen. I think it's
I
hilarious.
mean, look, what was it? CPU yesterday went up over 30,000. There were okay, so depending on who you believe and what is said, on my screen I had over 6,500 people in Jita. According to Villy, when he was talking to CCP through his CSM channels, Jita never went above 4,500 because that's its hard cap.
Well, 4,000, I think.
4,000, 4,500, one or the
Yeah.
other. So depending
Holy
on what
shit,
you
they're
say,
still shooting it!
yeah, man. But you know, we've shown our dislike of the current way of the last year to 3 years of the way they've been doing things. CCP has listened, obviously, by the post up on the screen. They're listening to what we're saying. They are now in discussions with alliance leadership, CSM members, and key people of the community.
Do you guys know if these changes were put forward to the CSM, either in full or part, and if the concerns are now being discussed or not? Because I mean, I don't know if you
Villy
got ties with
couldn't
that.
say. I talked to Villy yesterday when Villy jumped on. I went, look, mate, in your position as a CSM member, what are you allowed to say to us within the bounds of your NSA? He's like, we're talking to CCP. We know what's going on. Just put your faith in them. This is just, I can't say more. Just trust them. Was the TLDR of what Billy said. So
Because my experience with CCP and most gaming companies, right, we're on the slippery slide of Christmas. So you always need to produce something big before Christmas. That's pretty significant, that shakes things up, but also engages players. But you also want it to be at a point where there's only a few minor tweaks before you can let your staff go on leave and things like that and wind down. So my concern is if they haven't got this right, because they've produced something big and potentially engaging for players over Christmas. They've only probably got a couple of weeks before their main dudes start taking time off.
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier in the show. I don't know if Mav was here or not. Is they need to. This needs something this big.
Because we did it last year. If you remember, at this we're 2 weeks difference, but last year was Pochman. There was a release of Poch. It was like boom, here it is. So same deal, right? Like that was the idea. So this is the new thing for Christmas. This one.
Yeah, I feel like at the moment that what it needs to be done, because the current trend at the moment, CCP goes, hey, look, this is our big change. People are like, we don't like the sounds of this. We're going to try it on Sissy. Okay, we don't like, and it's been rolled out. So I feel that this needs to be something that doesn't sit on Sissy for a week and then gets rolled out into Trank. I feel like this needs to be something that needs to be on Sissy for a month.
Oh, I personally miss the lore stuff. Hey, like where it was like, they would enter it as a lore thing rather than just like, boom, here is new thing. You're like, oh, okay. But that's just me,
I
right?
heard that as war, not law.
Yeah, I heard war thing too, and I was like, what, you mean like when they
Oh, sorry.
interdiction nullifiers?
No. I mean, I'm not a lore fanatic, but I like when games introduce new concepts with lore. It's like, hey, this new thing has happened, and that's created these new mechanics and circumstance. But I mean, I didn't like the way we delivered this patch. It's just like, hey guys, we reread it too. Here's our answer to it. That kind of was very unimmersive for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's well, I guess we're going to see what's going to happen. I think that's the
Yeah.
main thing. Is guys, if you have feedback, jump onto the Eve forum, post on the forum thread that this has been clipped from. Thank you very much once again, Mav, for that. And have your say. Jump on Sissy, test it out. Like, if CCP is actually going to listen to us for once, cough cough, knock on wood. If CCP is actually going to listen to us for once, now's your chance. Be the change you want to see happen, guys. jump on Sissy, find out the issues, look at what's wrong with it, what your views are on it, post it on the forum. Take this opportunity with the fact that CCP is listening to us because there's been 24 hours of rioting in Jita, peaceful protest. Take this opportunity, guys. Put your say in what you'd like to see change. And maybe, just maybe, if you wish upon a star, it'll happen. You know, that's all we can really hope. Is like the future of our game is in CCP, CSM, and people who are smarter than my hand. And all I
But
can do is hope.
what are the main concerns, right? Like, could we rattle them out? Like, do we know what the issues are? Or is it just like everything?
So there was a video that was posted by Cry Hearing yesterday.
Mhm.
A 28-day. Okay, so this is moving away from the new bros because
This is the
apparently-
compression thing, right?
Yeah,
So it
compression
takes too long to compress. Boom. That's one.
Yeah. The fact.
Unless he were to dock and compress it, which would be instant.
No, is it instant? I thought that was
Yeah.
instant. Okay.
No.
You
It's just-
you lose a shit ton.
Sure.
So obviously the best way to do it is going to be raw cores. Now a 28-day pull on an R64, you're looking at over 78 hours to compress it with one raw core. So there's multiple, and as I said, these are things that I see. Hopefully, people are going to be talking to CCP about. So one of the issues with the module, okay, max skills 4.5 minutes compression, 10,500 M3. You have to manually load it from your cargo bay, not your ore hold. So you have to move it from your ore hold into your cargo bay, from your cargo bay into the module, and then click it. You don't have to be indie cored apparently for it. So you can sit on a station and do it, which untethers you. And as soon
It doesn't
as someone
tether? I
walks
thought you stayed tethered.
Nope, it untethers you.
Okay.
But as soon as an enemy jumps in system, apparently someone said in the stream chat, you can just turn the module off, you lose the ore, but you instantly tether. Which means you're going to have to be in a pause. So you're going to be seeing like 20 fucking raw cores sitting in the pods that you can't touch, just compressing ore. So it pulls whaling out of the system. It pulls content generation. Is one of the issues. The other, as I said, the other issue is going to be the time. The other thing, as I said, I don't think that raw core should be the best compression because, like you think, it should be stations. Stations are the most expensive. You buy T2 rigs. You know, like there should be a way to make a station equal to a raw core with T2 rigs. It gives a reason for people to want to hold their space a lot more because they don't want to lose their expensive T2 rig station. Pos bowling. Oh god, that was great. Pos bowling that was back when you turn the shield off and then turn it back on and yeet everything out, wasn't it?
Oh, there was a bunch of things, right? Like, yeah, you could do it that way, or you could have the password and warp in. There was a thing which is illegal now where you could not have the password, just stick the tip in, and hit them.
Compression in stations will have different efficiency depending on the type of resource that is being compressed. Except for moon
Right.
compressions, you cannot compress moon goo in a station. It can only be done in a rock.
Right now, right? But like we're saying right now, right? So we're just saying that a concern is that so you just said to me that if you mined a moon, it would take ages to compress in the rock will like how many days? But then your stream guys are saying you can't do it. So it's one or the other, right? But I think it's fair to say it shouldn't take forever because it's going to be a gaming window.
I'm now rereading the
Yeah.
post. Yeah. So compression stations that will have different efficiency depending on the type of resource being compressed. Except for moon compression will not be available. Compression will still be instantaneous, but will be less effective than in-space compression. So they're really pushing in-space compression. The compression
at a risk,
efficiency
right?
is
That's good.
90% ore, 90% gas, 79% ice.
So a couple of things I would say to you is raw cores are not the content generator that nullsec blocks claim them to be. So if you're a superpower in nullsec, like you can ping for a large amount of Kikimoras, which tends to be the meta at the moment, but it's been other things in the past. It's been Munins, it's been whatever, bombers, Goku or what they called. What was the other thing? Whatever fleets. If that's what people think is content generation, that's very one-sided. It's a one particular style of gameplay. I'll tell you, absolutely, as a wormholer or as a Bombers Bar FC, like finding Rockwalls is exciting but frustrating because I know that they can panic, and I know that people can form a fleet far superior in any than any wormhole group, right? So they're not as amazing as people say for wormhole group. I'd much rather tackle an Orca any day of the week in a belt because frankly it's actually engageable and killable, right? And I know what people say is they want easy dunks, but it's not a case of easy dunks. It's people want to kill things and have fun, right? So if and we want them to be replaceable. We want sustainable whaling, but yeah.
Yeah.
That padding
and
module is ridiculous.
Quickly, Nate's, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah, dude, I am not a miner. I'm not an industry guy. I am a FC. I'm a no block, large scale FC. You give me 250 fucking seat asses in combat seats, and I can write you a symphony. You stick me in front of a rock, and I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just everything that I'm saying is from, as I said, and I've said a few times, is just the way that I'm interpreting it. I need, like, if you guys are a miner, if you're an industry person, please jump on the show. Please have your say. Please let us know what you think and the way it's going to affect you.
Yeah,
I can
because
only
this
go off
last
what I know what people have told me and what I've read and
Yeah.
Reddit and the
this last 4 months has been really hard for anyone that wants to do indie, and I have lots of I'm not a very good indie person. I swear anything I try to build is just terrible. But a lot of my guys, a lot of my friends who do indie are frustrated with the game, and they're not particularly excited by these changes, which is not great because I think that was what we wanted. CCP wants industrialists to be excited by this change. So I think you're right. There does need to be changes, but what we don't want to do is hide behind the it's so bad for the new bro or poor Rockwell miners. Like we need to find a balance that allows people to engage in industry over Christmas. Whatever that is. I don't know because that's not where I'm
sorry,
at.
I'm gonna stop you there, dude. You can
Got head out, Kale,
you
but
can
I'll catch you in a bit.
catch you later, man. Thanks for joining the show, mate. You can
Thanks,
jump
everyone.
on and you can get angry and shitty in the chat as much as you want, or you can jump onto the show, put your money where your mouth is, and tell us your point of view as someone who is a miner or knows anything about the situation. Because at the moment, it is an FC echo chamber because no one is going to join the channel, but it's an open floor. If you want to come in and have your say, have your say. I'm happy for differences in opinion. I don't care if you're a goon, member of fraternity. I don't care where you come from because in the end, we're all Leave players. We all play the same community. But, you can't sit there and get shitty at me for trying to talk to something and bring light to an issue that I know is hurting a lot of my friends in Eve. I don't know anything about it. I admit that. This isn't what I do in Eve. I fight. I PvP. But I'm still trying to shine light to help people who are having issues and who are not happy and who don't have a voice. So if you want a voice, this is your opportunity to come and talk.
It's a great point that Resix is making, right? Like Tatton's out of space, Rockles and Pols. Like this is actually where we were not too many years ago. There was a point in time when Titans didn't rat, Rockles didn't mind, right? Like that was a thing. We saw other things out doing those things. So I'm not saying that's right. Like I'm not one of those like bring it back to 20 Diggity 6 guys, probably because I didn't play back then. But look, I absolutely play the game every day that I'm at home. And every day at the home, me and my alliance kill things. I want to kill bigger things like anyone, right? Like we do, for sure. But I also want people to thrive, right? Like I don't want to burn the whole world. Yeah, Kepley, I think it's pronounced. You're right. So I agree with you. This was supposed to be a big thing for industry players, and it's clearly not satisfied the itch, right? Like that's what CCP has between now and whenever they put people at leave for Christmas, because it's coming, right? Like I guarantee you, CCP employees of note are going to take holidays at Christmas, and they've probably got their little applications in and stuff, right? So we as players probably need to realize that they've got a bunch of weeks to fix it, and we need to articulate what really is important. What do we want to fix? And then we're probably in a good place.
Yeah.
That's the line, Nate. I could find you a Rockwell any hour of the day, any day of the week. If you want a Rockwell, message me, I'll find it for you. I bet you can't kill it though.
I've got eyes at the moment and 4 Rockwells in frat space.
Yep, I'm watching 8 right now. Like, I mean, Nate, if you want them, you're probably blue to them, Nate, but that's fine. You want them, I'll get you them.
Yeah, they're definitely out there at the moment.
Aw, thanks, Resix.
Three times. Ship prices will go up. I really don't know. I've talked to a lot of people who play the market for years. They at the moment they really don't know how it's going to go. There are no cap supers or oracles in Space Alliance wars or hack fights. I fucking hate the hack meta, dude. I am a noble
Come to wormholes.
and I hate fucking hack meta.
Go to wormholes. No hacks.
More stuff in space, not less. I agree. Yeah.
So I think
definitely
Hazard.
more
I mean,
tools
Hazard
inside
knows
space.
that I agree with him. His point on the whole panic module. Like, the panic module is a great concept. It's just it's ridiculous. It's broken. Like, it's too long. It's too powerful. Yeah, it's debilitating. But it's also not fun to be in a rock while I'm being attacked by people. But I guess what MMO out there when you're mining a rock in the scary space should be a place where it's safe for you to wait for your mates.
Yeah. Well, as I said, so Kepler, they're doubling all rocks essentially. So the all that's currently in it is getting increased. So including, I believe, CCP. Where's the terminology? So the keynotes are. The highlights include doubling the resource quantity of ore in asteroid belts. All Omba, Kernite, and Crocite quantities are doubled in sovereign anomalies. Double the resources in ice belts on top of the previous 200% increase. Double the resources of Macoxon, Cytocercin, and Fullerin. I'm going to guess those are gases. Double the extraction rate from all moons. So they're adding it back in. But I think this says, I think someone said earlier, this is to circumvent the wastage. So you're still going to get the same amount from the rocks, but you're going to deplete the rocks faster if you're using Tech 1.
Yeah.
You need to use Tech 2 or Faction.
So I think like people like Resix is saying some pretty good stuff. So this is what you have to articulate to CCP is like, what do you want? Like, I mean, risk reward is a pretty resonating thing for game developers. So if you can identify what people are willing to put out on the table and what they want to earn, then CCP can design the mechanics behind it. I put it to you. So that's the hard part. I mean, we all know, EVE players, we want to use big things, we want to make a lot of ISK, and we want to be saved, right? Like, that's what we want. But unfortunately, we can't have all of that, so we've got to kind of let in some areas.
Yeah. As I said, like, I 100% admit, this isn't my part of the game. I'm just trying to give the voice to people who don't have a voice. I'm trying to get the information out there, let people know that there is dissatisfaction. I can only go off the videos I've seen, the conversations I've had, what people have shown me, with the math and all that kind of stuff, and push it out there and go, look, guys, this is what's going on, and then give you guys the avenues to go and talk to CCP with. Go hit up your CSM members that you like. I know Go Billy, Go Pro God. All right, cool. They're only 2 out of the number of CSM members. Go talk to Brisk. I know that Brisk is a man of the people. He's a good bloke. I have a lot of respect for Brisk. Same as Merc. I mean, granted, I know I'm in test and Gurgoons, but Brisk and Merc, they're good people, and they have at heart, I believe, the best interests of the gaming community when they're tackling these issues. So go hit up your CSM members. Go to the forum. State your displeasure. If you guys have a better idea, please let CCP know. Yelling at me about it, that ain't gonna do shit. I'm a fucking.
I'm genuinely interested in these changes, though. How much the CSM knew. Like, I understand we don't get to know, and that's totally fine. Like, it's all part of the game. But there are small aspects of the change that I'm very surprised if they were briefed to the CSM they got through. A really good example is you've mentioned it and the video's been out, but like the time to compress, I'd be very surprised if that was briefed to the CSM, that someone wouldn't go, hang on, that's a ridiculous idea. Alternatively, the CSMs have never sat in a rock and compressed, but I don't think that's the case, right? Like, I think it's just a bit of a missed thing. I think that'll be a really quick fix, and I think if players just make the point on the forums and shit, but focus on other stuff, like because that's for me. I think within a week that'll be fixed. Like I don't think that's going to stay through.
No,
There's others I
don't
expect, like the
expect it.
wastage or the Rorquals impulses versus on the grid or whatever. You know,
Yeah,
they're the things that CCP probably need to work on in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's on Sissy for a reason. So jump on Sissy, test it out. Like it's so. Oh God, do you remember? Oh, probably not. Actually, no. Yeah, maybe. Remember how hard it used to be to get on Sissy? You had to download the different client. You had to put the code in and all that stuff. Nowadays, you open up your launcher, you click the button on the bottom right corner, and you change to the test server of Singularity. Jump on Sissy, guys. Test it out. See how you feel. Look, the show's been going for about what 2 hours now. That's pretty good. So yeah. Other than that, as I said, like the Riots and Jita, they're still going. You guys want to shoot fireworks in Jita? Head to Jita. Eve Down Under next week. I'm actually really keen for this thing. Like I really.
So I guarantee you, Eve Down Under next week is going to be great. I've been very slack with advertising it because I'm a small man band doing it, and I've been very busy. But I guarantee you next week some really pointed questions will go to CCP about this stuff. We'll discuss it. There's some stuff that I can't say because of NDA that they're going to talk about during it, and some releases are going to happen. And then there's an Ask Me Anything, right? So like you guys can jump on and ask CCP whatever it is you want about it, you know.
Oh,
so I encourage you to come, and it's free, right?
On the organizer channel, you've been NDA'd.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Look, as I said, I'm really looking forward to it. I enjoyed last year, which is why I wanted to take a more active role into it this year. I am kind of disappointed that it's not going to be live and in person, but I understand we've all got to be safe. So I'm really looking forward to next year if it does end up being we're able to catch up. It's going to be good.
100%. So I'm moving to Sydney next year, whether it's in Sydney or Melbourne or whatever we do. But I think we will probably do an in-face one. I said that last year though. I was like, yes, 2020, we're definitely going to catch up and have some beers, and here we are doing it online again.
Why do you hate yourself, Sin?
Why do I hate myself?
Why are you moving to Sydney?
Work, mate. Work, sadly.
Yeah, I had to move from Queensland to Sydney for work as well.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it. Anyway, I'm going to jump off because I want to go kill some shit with my my alliance.
Alright, man. Look, well, thank you very much for jumping on, and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Yeah, see you, mate.
Friday.
Bye.
Friday.
I'll keep watching the stream, and I'll answer questions in the chat. See ya.
Catch you, mate. Okay, so that was Sinalama, the event organizer, or the main event organizer of the Down Under, which is next week. Starts Friday at 0900. Because of the way that the world and stuff is at the moment with coronavirus and everything, we weren't able to actually make it a live venue, which kind of sucks. But you know what? Fingers crossed for next year. But as I said, guys, look, I'll link the Discord again. If you want to hop onto well, there we go. The bot automatically put up the Discord. If you guys want to join that Discord, jump on the win post, jump onto the Drag Me channel. I'll drag you in. You can have your say about the new patches, what you think, and the way things are. Other than that, there's not really all that much that we can do at the moment except sit back and wait. It kind of sucks a little bit, but you got to do what you got to do. Other than that, I don't really think there is too much going on in New Eden at the moment. ESS raids are still going. There hasn't been a big fight since the Brave fight. AUTZ is still plodding along, which is that's actually something I wouldn't mind asking or doing a show about. Or even I'll just ask you guys. There's apparently 62 of you guys listening to me talk shit. What do you guys believe can be done to? And I just realised my audio is coming through as I log on. Sorry about that. What do you guys believe that can be done to try to promote and increase numbers in the AUTZ? What can we do to make the the Australian time zone? I'm not going to say great again because we sound like a orange, but wearing a toupee. But were you guys around? Did you try the were you around for the no downtime? Were you around for the downtime moved a couple of hours? You know, how did you guys feel that that affected the AUT? You know, just stuff to think about. As I said, okay, I will admit I've been schooled about the way I thought the changes were going to be. Apparently, it's not going to affect the new player experience as much as I originally thought it was, and actually, I think that's pretty cool. As I said, I'm really worried about the new bro experience. Okay, I'm going to try to do something. So, forgive me if I fuck this up. Capture a specific window. Hey, okay, cool. I need to size this properly. I don't know how. I think Mab ended up just having to do that, and there we go. All right, guys. So I'm in Jita at the moment. And it looks like the protest is, while not going as strong as yesterday, the protest is still going on for the current changes. So make your way to Jita, guys. Come check it out. Jita is still, you know, people are still protesting. Don't worry, guys. Look, someone's webbed and scrammed the monument. It's not going anywhere. Nova Valentis had people on the stream yesterday who were on Sicily. They were showing screenshots of mining twice the amount, but on TQ on the barges. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. If that is something like, but is that going to be one of those you need faction modules and stuff like that to do it, or like? 10%, 40% increase. Really big win in high sec is that you can stay put in one belt, not having to jump out. I definitely agree with that. You can get your bro in a what is it? I was talking to my mate who's a high sec miner. He's going to refit his Orca to tractor belts and a depot so he can swap out the modules as he needs to. He's just going to sit there and tractor in all the rocks and compress them. No downtime was strange. I've been playing for 14 years. I did like it. Yeah. So, you know, the joke within test, for those of you guys who are in test, is Kale never sleeps. And to some degree, that is correct. I have really weird sleep schedules depending on how I am feeling at the time. So, you know, having no downtime while I was running a fleet in the EUTZ, and halfway through the fleet, something that was downtime, and I was like, what the fuck is this? What? It really tripped me out. But actually, I kind of liked it because there's so much content. I really hope that one day they can have no downtime or one downtime a week. Because at the moment, I feel like, as I said, this is all personal opinion, guys. This is not the views and opinions of New Eden Post. Test Alliance, please ignore Black Omega Security. Is my own personal opinions. I don't really like downtime. I think the ability to be able to try to save yourself by jumping through gates, you know, and then downtime hits. You know, you're like, you jump a regional, you get stuck in a bubble, downtime hits, you're like, haha, fuck you. And then as long as you log on quick enough, you can get out. You know, like downtime feels a bit too much of a crutch. Also being at like 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, depending on where you are in Australia, I feel that it, especially with extended downtime and then issues that extended downtimes have, you know, it takes a massive chunk out of our play. I know that as a Strat FC, downtime plays a massive part in trying to work out my fleets, especially if we're trying to hit a specific structure or something. We've got to sit there and go, okay, how many people can we get in fleet? What's the DPS? Right? Can we damage cap it? Yes, we can damage cap it. Right, it's going to take us 25 minutes. Are they going to come and push us off or make us stop shooting? Yes, there's a possibility. Cool. So we need to add at least an extra 10 to 20 minutes to that time. is downtime going to hit halfway through that and suddenly either reset the shield damage we did or heal it up halfway? It makes a lot of issues, a lot of considerations when trying to plan on fleets. You know, it was also a big factor on the wall. We got a lot of Titans and Capitals and Supers out of M2 because of downtime. I feel like it's a crutch. You know that even if you fuck up, downtime will happen. You'll get forcibly logged off. You'll survive. People YOLO Titans on top of other people just before downtime. Downtime hits. They come off and they jump out. So it's going to be interesting. Nova, I don't think there is any, or I'm not aware of personally, any specific mechanics. I think the main mechanics is waste, the way that Tech 1 modules are written, the Procure nerf, and compression time. I think those are the main ones. Jita protest 2021. Mav, look at the stream, bro. We're still protesting. Come down to Jita, guys. Grab a festival launcher and come shoot the monument if you're not happy with the way things currently stand. I'm just here because it looks pretty on the screen, and it means you don't have to look at my ugly mug. Actually, speaking of my ugly mug, I do need to throw that there. There's something else I need to put up there. Oh, I think that's everything. All right, cool. There we go. That's the way people can see the chats. Yeah, looks like today is also processing. Mav just posted the fact that at 1800 they will be kicking it off again during the EU. But you know, it's really good to see the Aussies here in force. It's you know, it's great to see the fact that the community is getting together. Let's have a look. Who have we got alliance wise? A lot of people without alliances are currently here. Let's pull this out and have a look. A lot of people. So this is just my market alt, guys. This is why my UI is an absolute piece of shit, so I haven't bothered changing it. Let's have a look at the alliances. We've got a bunch of Condi. So we've got Goonies, Seiko, Tuskers. And we got an Init. Whether or not these guys. No, yeah, there he is. He's processing. So look, man, it's good to see that everyone's coming out. I mean, look, we can hope that while it may not change anything, we can hope that it will while it may not change anything, we can still sit there and hope that at least by showing our dissatisfaction, that CCP will at least take into some form of consideration people's views and issues on the subject. I mean, it's the best, you know, it's the best we can hope for, and hopefully they do it. As I said, as I've stated a couple of times, I'm not a miner. This stuff doesn't really affect me more so than I don't like the current player retention in EVE, and I hope that we can, you know, hold more players. And I felt, and I explained to myself, that this would affect new player experience, and I've been corrected in the chat, and I humbly admit I read it wrong, I guess, or so if this doesn't affect the look, the Jita riots, right, there's one guy, he bought up all the fireworks before this, stuck them on the market, and yeah, it's just one dude making billions by shooting the structure. It is very pretty though. They the devs who did the fireworks stuff, graphics, the fact that each year we get different looking fireworks, it's pretty awesome to see. You got coercers down there shooting rainbow lasers. Actually, I wonder, Cryo is here or is he, what's the Condi guys? Mace Window. OB2. But look, guys, if you're unhappy with the current patch, come down to Jita and you know, shoot the monument with some fireworks. Look, I truthfully believe I'm running out of topics. I can sit here and blabber and just talk to the chat until the cows come home, but that's not really what the show is about. So I might think about calling it there unless there's any topics that you guys in the chat want to bring up or any more points about the proposed changes that you want to speak about. As I said, floor's open on Discord if you want to come and chat. Other than that, I think I might try to wrap it up here, guys. I don't think I have the ability to rate anyone, so I'm just going to go through a quick spiel. So I'm KL Eagle's Eye. This is Serious Slander Saturday on a Sunday. There's currently rioting in Jita over the new proposed changes that are currently on CC. Please try them. Jump on CC, give the changes a go. Put your views into the forum. Let your local CSM member know. Smash it out, guys. Eve Down Under 0900 starting Friday, CCP stream. So next weekend, myself and Luke probably will not be streaming Serious Slander Saturday because we will be hosting the Saturday proportion of Eve Down Under, which is the CCP Ask Me Anything, the CCP keynote address. So guys, look, CCP is actually going to talk about these changes next week. Get some questions together. Join the Eve Down Under Discord. Let them know. You know, shoot us the questions. We can ask the questions. We can ask the hard-hitting questions for you. But we need those questions. So Eve Down Under next week. Probably not going to be a Serious Slander Saturday next weekend, and I apologize for that. But as I said, we will be hosting CCP. We will be hosting CCP. CCP will be hosting Eve Down Under, and myself and Luke Twa will be hosts for the Saturday. Other than that, guys, look, just fly safe, stay safe, make sure you guys get your vaccinations. You know, shit's pretty crazy out there at the moment, so yeah, guys, look, thanks for watching Serious Slander Saturday. I'm your host, Kale. I wish to thank you very much for watching the show. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys are all awesome. I hope you have a fantastic day. Catch you next time.